I'm Melissa Lane, and welcome to the Lifecraft podcast. Lifecraft is passionate about helping you live your everyday life better by sharing inspiration, awareness, and tools to enable you to create a fulfilling life. Before we begin this episode, I would just like to state that this is not medical advice. Regardless of anything to the contrary, nothing that is shared on or through this platform should be understood as a recommendation or medical advice. These are my views on a topic that is constantly changing and evolving. You should always consult with a medical or health professional to address your particular information. The Lifecraft podcast and Melissa Lane Wellness always recommends that you seek advice from your health professional before making any changes to your lifestyle. This information is for educational purposes only. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Lifecraft podcast. My name is Melissa Lane and I will be your host today on this solo episode, all about free ways to improve your holistic health. I'm very passionate about this subject because I did not come from money and I had to learn how to create that baby. But when it comes to turning around your health and your wellness, it can feel very, very expensive. And so today I just want to share a couple of things that I did when I didn't have a lot of money that really changed the game for me in regards to my health and wellness. So I'm going to share 5 of the big ones with you first. Then I'm going to share really quick fire bonus ones. Just a couple of ones that you can apply. I'm not going to go into too much detail. You'll get the gist of it. And right at the end, I'm going to share something that later on became one of the things that was a game changer for me when it comes to my health and wellness. So stick around to the end of the episode to hear what that one was. And then I just want to say we love hearing from you. So before we go on with this episode, please hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the Lifecraft podcast. Download this episode. At the end of it, share it with someone if you think that they could benefit as well. And then I'd love for you to go and leave a positive review either on your podcast streaming platform, in a comment on our YouTube page, or perhaps even on social media. We love hearing what made a difference for you. What was your aha moment, a takeaway that you got, something that inspired you so that we know what to create more of. This podcast is here for you. It's a resource. It's a place you can come back to just create a life that you're actually excited to wake up to. So let's get going with the episode. So I just want to say that I did not grow up with a lot of money. Privileged, yes, very aware of that, not a lot of money. And I was a very sickly child, and since I was young, I felt the burden that my mother had to carry just to keep me healthy. And that was a basic level of health. That wasn't even optimal health. And there is so much injustice in this world around health and wellness, basic health and wellness, that I don't want to just glaze over because I'm making this episode. Not at all. I'm very aware of minority groups and how they suffer and how certain parts of the world are not getting the health education and care that they deserve, and that a lot of the big companies, including the ones in the pharma and in the food industry, don't really care about people's health as much as they could and as much as they care about their bottom line. Very aware of that. And that's why I'm making episodes like this, so that you can see this as an opportunity to take your power back in whatever degree you can, and hopefully share this and get some of these holistic health practices that are free out into the world. And maybe just start with your family, start with you. Start with your household, then share it with your community. Everything that I'm sharing today, none of it is mine. It's things that I learned through my own journey of not having freaking money, wanting to be healthy, knowing that there's more to life than what I was living. And I'm very passionate about sharing these things for free. That's why I make these podcasts. So I just wanted to add that this isn't glazing over the bigger issue that we are living in a society that is not really healthy when it comes to holistic health and the way that we treat the majority of people, that there are definite injustices in this world when it comes to people's basic health and education around that, and that hopefully we can be a part of that change. So I want to get into the first thing that changed the game for me when it came to my holistic health and wellness. And that is, I started changing my beliefs about what health and wellness was and what I could experience. So our beliefs are so vitally important. Our beliefs literally create our reality. So a lot of people think, oh Lord, Melissa, that sounds woohoo. Well, I am woohoo, but it really is scientific and it's really logical, I think, as well, to understand that what you believe is where your thoughts will be. It'll be the perspective that you view the world with. That'll be the amount of action that you'll take, and that will also result in the types of choices that you'll make. So I'm going to use myself as an example here. I used to believe that I was a sickly child. I used to have the belief that there is something wrong with my body because I was always sick. I had severe food allergies, very low energy. I always got the seasonal flu, and it was really severe and it would last longer than other people's flu. I had a really compromised immune system. I had IBS, I had asthma, amongst other things as well. And I just thought that there was something wrong with my body, and it wasn't just a thought that came up and then left. It was an ingrained belief in me. And when I would see other people running and playing and I couldn't because of my asthma, I would believe that there is something wrong with my body. My body is weaker than other people's bodies. And we all have a version of that. And I want you to just take a moment and think, what are some of my beliefs in regards to health and wellness? Do I really believe that I could be healthy, that my body wants to be healthy, that my body is strong and resilient, that I can eat food that will heal my body and strengthen me and make me feel energetic and light, that I deserve to feel good, that I deserve to live in a body that has clarity of mind and that has strength and that has resilience and that has energy and that feels good? I know that for a long time I didn't believe that. And what that whole process led to was me falling into the trap of diet culture, thinking that I'm less than, thinking that I needed to be small, thinking that losing weight was really hard and that I had to starve and that I had to over-exercise and do all of those things. And it just spiraled out of control until one day I listened to a video by the amazing Louise Hay on YouTube. And it changed the game for me. She was the first person that helped me to start deconstructing those limiting beliefs in regards to my health and wellness. Because you see, what you believe is what you're going to manifest. What you believe is going to be the kind of filter that you look at this world with. It's like lenses that you put on. And what you believe is going to have a direct impact on your body. So I went down that rabbit hole and I got introduced to people like Bruce Lipton, who is a pioneer in the field of things like epigenetics and how your beliefs not only dictate your thoughts and your actions and the choices that you make, but that your beliefs have a direct effect on your biology, on the chemistry in your body, on how your brain fires and wires. And going down that rabbit hole, I got to people like Joe Dispenza as well, who is just an amazing pioneer in regards to healing and what you believe and how your beliefs affect your physical body as well as your mental state. So I want you to take some time. Maybe go onto the internet, go where there's Wi-Fi to make it really free, and go and download a couple of videos by Bruce Lipton. Go and watch a couple of videos by Joe Dispenza and Louise Hay and just start deconstructing the limiting beliefs that you might have around your health and wellness. That's why I always share affirmations on my social media, and with my clients, I always have us first deconstruct our beliefs and then we start building health and wellness. The second thing that I want to share with you that's absolutely free, and this will dramatically improve your health and wellness, is breathing. Oh my goodness, it sounds so simple, but we don't breathe enough. And I know when I started learning how to freaking breathe, my life changed. And yes, I am dramatic, but not about this. I think most of us are very shallow breathers. We breathe from our neck up. And that's why we have so much tension around our neck area and in our shoulder area, because we were meant to breathe with our whole body. Our entire belly is supposed to fill up. But if you're indoctrinated with diet culture, and if you were taught like I was as a little girl to pull in my tummy and to walk really straight, you can't take a nice deep belly breath if you have to hold in your tummy the whole time. And I know stress causes us to really just go like this and breathe so shallow and really like right here at our throat area and around our shoulders. That is where we usually breathe. And when I started learning about meditation and I started learning about yogic practices and those types of things, I was amazed to feel the effect in my body that came from taking a really mindful, conscious, deep belly breath. It's amazing. And I want you to remember this cute thing that I heard that just helped me so much. Your nose is for breathing, your mouth is for eating. So many of us are mouth breathers. It's not the best way to breathe. We really, as a society, might need to learn how to breathe again. We think it's just an automatic system. But if you breathe through your mouth the whole time, it sends off a signal in your body that you're in danger. It really activates the part of your body that says, you're out of breath, you just ran away from a tiger or a bear, you're in danger. And it keeps you at that low level of stress the entire time. But deep breathing through your nose at a steady pace just calms down your nervous system, just calms down your heart rate. And some of the benefits of learning how to do really good breathing is it slows down your heart rate, it allows more oxygen to come into your body, which has so many benefits. It helps to balance out your hormones, especially your cortisol levels. It really just lowers your cortisol levels, and that is one of the stress hormones that we want to decrease, because having it high for a long period of time is just so detrimental to our physical bodies. Then it also increases endorphins. So I want to challenge you, if you want to do something free for your holistic health today, learn how to breathe. And if you don't know where to learn, free stuff on YouTube, amazing resource. But you can also just start with box breathing. And I love box breathing. It's an easy one that you can start doing. You just inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. Really simple. You can learn more about that online. An amazing resource. Breathing is free, and it's an amazing way to improve your holistic health. The third thing that I want to share is strengthening the nervous system. I was really, really sickly, as I said, as a child, and I went to a homeopath when I was in my 20s because I had severe food allergies. I was allergic to everything under the sun. I felt my body being really triggered all the time. I had IBS. I had such shallow breathing at that time as well. I always had low energy. I didn't understand why I couldn't think one thought because of all the brain fog. And I just felt like this could not be living. This cannot be living. And I went to a homeopath, and she shared a bunch of food allergies with me and all of these types of things. But the one thing that she said that triggered me was, you have a very weak nervous system. You need to strengthen your nervous system. And that was a game changer for me. Now, I can tell you, most of us have compromised nervous systems because of the high levels of stress that we are under most of the time, and environmental toxins and a lot of things that happen even before you're born in the womb. Most of our nervous systems are not as strong as they can be. So I want you to look at strengthening your nervous system. Ways that you can do that is by engaging your vagus nerve and improving your vagal tone by doing simple things like gargling, like breath work, like laughter, like cold showers. All of these things can start strengthening your nervous system. One thing that I really want to say is cold showers and laughter, yes, please. Those two will make you feel like a whole different human being. And it just improves your vagal tone, which helps to strengthen your nervous system. But if you really commit to strengthening your nervous system, most of these practices are free, as you heard. It will start to reduce pain and inflammation in your body. It will start to decrease your fight or flight response, which is amazing because it will improve your emotions. And the thing that I loved about this, and it's so great when it comes to your holistic health, is it takes you from being reactive to being responsive. So if you think about something as simple as medication, say, if you react to a medication, that's not great. But if your body responds to a medication, that's a good thing. But it's the same with everything in life. If we react to a situation, if we react to a stressor, if we react to change that happens in our life, it's not that great. What we want to do is we want to be conscious, we want to be present, we want to be mindful, we want to be aware enough that we can choose how we want to respond, how we want to show up in that moment. And that'll happen by strengthening your freaking nervous system. One of the ways that I did all of these things, really trying to up my vagal tone by doing things like gargling, breath work, laughter, cold showers, but I also do yoga, and I also like to shake out my body, like literally shake your body. Put on an amazing song that'll make you feel good so that you raise your vibration and you're in a good state, and then shake out your body and try and shake out the parts of your body that you normally don't use, like your hands and your feet, and just shake out your body. It's so powerful. It's such an amazing practice to do. Strengthen your nervous system. Number 4, I want you to chew your food properly. Oh my goodness, I am almost screaming, but this is something that we don't do. A lot of times we don't chew our food properly because we are so unconscious in that moment. We are not mindful. We are not present. We are so stressed that we are just eating food without even realizing that we just chomped away an entire meal. And what happens is it causes us to not digest properly. It causes us to not absorb the nutrients properly. And a lot of people who suffer from bloating, if you go and look at how they eat really quickly and they don't chew their food enough. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole debate about how many times must you chew your food. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to say you have to chew it 20 times and now you're sitting there counting, so now you're not even enjoying your meals and all you're thinking about is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like that vibe. I want it to come naturally. I want you to follow your intuition, but I want you to become more aware of how quickly you eat food. And if you just chew it 3, 4, or 5 times, it's not enough. I want you to start chewing your food until it makes a nice soft paste in your mouth. And you'll see that there are so many benefits. As I said, it'll help with your digestion, your absorption. It prevents you from overeating because you slow down. So the responses in your body that tell you, I've had enough, get a chance to go off in your body. Then it also helps with things like bloating, with indigestion, with all of those things, stomach cramps and the works. It's really an amazing practice to get into, absolutely free. So really focus in on becoming aware of how quickly you do chew. Really become aware of, is it only 3, 4, or 5 times perhaps before you swallow? And then how about slowing it down, chewing slower, and then chewing until it's a nice soft paste. It'll help your digestive system so much. And I don't think any of us want to eat really good quality food and add in all of these healthy things into our diet and then the things don't get absorbed. Not a great thing. So practices that I use is taking a deep breath before I eat. Really centering down, taking that deep breath. I also love blessing my food, whether it's through prayer or an intention or just being grateful for that food. It is always a privilege to have food. And then Also, just being present. And I know it can be so difficult, but I'd love for you to just perhaps sit down when you're eating. Try not eat when you're driving, while you're working. I know it's not always possible, but that's why I say when you can. Be present in that moment. Taste your food, smell your food. Be present with that meal. It's going to make a big difference when it comes to chewing your food properly. Then number 5, that changed the game, and it's absolutely free, is meditation. I know I hammer on with meditation. I can't help it. I always think if there's one thing that I could give every single person to improve their health, whether it's their mental health, their spiritual health, and their physical health, it'll be learning how to meditate and doing it every single day, being consistent with it. And it doesn't mean you have to meditate every single day for an hour. Not at all. Sometimes a minute meditation in the morning is going to change your whole day. It's about connecting with who you really are, coming into alignment with who you are, not your personality, not the story you have about yourself, not who people think you are, not the character you're going out to play in the world that day, but really just tapping into you, your higher self, that essence of who you are, the awareness that is you, and allowing it to be there at the forefront. Allowing your body to relax, allowing your breath to deepen, your heart rate to slow down, and your mind to feel that it's safe to be in this world. And that's why I love meditation. So some of the benefits are less stress hormones in the body, gaining self-awareness, and I think not a lot of people talk enough about that, but gaining self-awareness is such an important thing. Then you can also cultivate better focus by meditating every day. There's so much scientific data out there. Freaking Google. Amazing. Then you'll also increase your memory because it's going to increase the gray matter in your brain. Physically, it's going to change your brain if you meditate on a consistent basis. I'm always blown away by that. It reduces inflammation in the body. That's what you want. Ugh, it's so cool. And then it's also got a lot of benefits for your mental health and I think for your spiritual health as well. Meditation doesn't have to be a spiritual practice, but for someone like me, I believe everything is a spiritual practice because we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So everything is spiritual. But you can really just find a meditation that works for you. There are so many free resources out there. Otherwise, one of my best ways to meditate I always like starting slow. So I'd say try and sit in the same place, in the same position, at the same time every day. If you can, even wear the same clothes. Just sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, breathe nice and deeply through your nose, and then find a sound to focus on. The dripping of a faucet, the aircon in your house, perhaps a stream, perhaps maybe like the birds outside. Like when I'm sitting on my couch and I don't have time for a guided meditation, I'll just listen to the birds outside. It's not about switching your brain off. It's not about not having thought. It's about being present and aware while they're there. It's about allowing those thoughts to be there and seeing them pass by. It's about telling your body that it's safe to just be for a couple of moments in a day, that you don't have to be anywhere else, that you don't need to work and do and strive and all of those things, that being you in that moment doing nothing is more than enough. And it's a powerful practice. And as you can hear, I'm very passionate about that. So those are my top 5. Change your beliefs about your health. Breathe properly. Learn how to breathe properly. Nice and deep breaths through your nose. Become a nose breather. Then strengthen your nervous system. Increase that vagal tone. Really start improving your nervous system with things like cold showers and laughter and breath work. Amazing. Then chew your food properly. And lastly, meditate. Now I'm going to give you a couple of bonus ones that are going to be really rapid, like the rapid fire types questions that people ask. I'm just going to give you a couple that are free ways to improve your holistic health. Gratitude, practicing gratitude, not just being grateful when something happens, but actually practicing the art of recognizing things to be grateful for all the time, every day. It's there, I promise you. Next up, lessen the amount of processed food that you ingest. It's a free thing to do because you just don't buy the cholas. I love always recommending to lessen the amount of processed foods that you buy. The foods that are highly processed are usually the foods that were made in ways that strip them from a lot of the nutrients that can be in foods that are whole foods. So just become aware of that. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but lessen the amount of processed and junk food that you consume on a daily basis. Next up, being consistent. Being consistent is free. Being consistent is more powerful than being perfect. Hear me now. Being consistent with your health and wellness is more important than being perfect. That's the thing that's going to change your health and wellness in the long run. And it's free. So really just start learning how to be consistent, deconstructing beliefs that are limiting you, understanding how to set up habits in your life that are going to lead you to be successful in what you want, and then just making that decision and being disciplined, and remembering that discipline is not something hard to do. Discipline is not a masculine thing. Discipline is you receiving something. When you show up for that meditation, when you show up on that yoga mat, that is a form of discipline, but it's because you are going to get something when you're on that yoga mat. You're going to get something when you're on that meditation pillow, when you wake up early enough to do your morning routine, when you lessen the processed foods, when you move your body in fun ways. It's going to be something that's going to be good for you, and that's discipline. It's something that you receive, not just something that you give. Next, prioritize sleep. So important. Get in your 6 to 8 hours, whatever works well with your body. There are a bunch of really great free resources on the internet in regards to how to improve your sleep. Go and check that out. Then drink enough water. Drink water. Drink so much water. Drink enough water. Water is amazing, and really try and make it the cleanest water you can, the best quality water that you can. But drink enough water. I don't think any of us drinks enough water, and we'll have a lot of things in our day-to-day life that dehydrate us. And obviously, I'm not going to recommend a certain amount of water because I don't know what your lifestyle looks like. A pro athlete will need a different amount of water than a teacher and a child. So really get to know your body. Go and check out resources. Talk to your healthcare professional, find out how much water is really great for you and your body on that day, in that week, whatever, but just drink more water. Next up, cultivate healthy relationships. Cultivating healthy relationships is one of the things that will change your health and wellness. We definitely become the sum total of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. And if you're around people who talk badly about health and wellness, who have beliefs that limit them from really experiencing the health and wellness that they can experience, people who think it's silly to want to be healthy, people who are just complainers, you know, those people that'll find a problem for every solution, those people, it's got to rub off on you. And one of the things that I heard from, I want to say Brendan Bashab, maybe it was Brendan Bashab, but what I want to say was, you don't just become the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with, but you become their worst traits too. You pick up their worst traits too. So spend time around people who inspire you. Spend time around people who honor your boundaries, who love you as you are, who make you feel good about yourself, who encourage you to be the best version of you, not to be more, not to be different, but to be the best version of you, and people who allow you to discover that. People who are not going to manipulate you, are not going to try and control you, are not going to put you in a box so that they feel more comfortable. Spend more time around those people. And that's why I use the word cultivate. You cultivate those types of relationships. Absolutely. The last one is play and move your body daily. So important. Moving your body. I always say your body was made to move. Move your body daily. It doesn't have to be in a gym. That's fantastic if you want to, but it doesn't have to be that. You can play with your dogs. You can play with your kids. You can walk around your house. You can have some fun with friends. You can try a new free class online. You can go onto YouTube and download, when you have free Wi-Fi, some workouts and try them in your home. There are so many ways that you can do this for free. Now, the last thing that I want to share with you, and I just want to say well done if you're still listening. Well done for taking this moment to invest in your health. I'm very proud of you. The last thing that I only learned a couple of years ago, but that was a game changer for me, and it's absolutely free. And I hope that more people adopt this, is ditching diet culture. Diet culture is one of the things that got me into disordered eating, got me purging, got me starving myself, got me punishing a body that I now love. And I know, because I work with so many women on a weekly, daily basis that have fallen into diet culture. And so many of my friends who are male struggle with the same thing. Like, this has got nothing to do with men or women, not at all. This is a culture that was formed to make money off of your insecurities. And diet culture makes you focus more on your weight, your size, and your shape than creating true, lasting health. The health that makes you feel good. The health that makes you feel excited to be human on this earth at this time. The type of health that gives you enough energy to want to make a difference, to want to make an impact. And we need that now. I mean, we all know the world is changing rapidly, and I think all of us want it to change for the better. You need health to do that. And something like diet culture just blinds you to everything that's going on, because you're focusing on all of the wrong things, and people are making a lot of money off of your insecurities. So I want to encourage you. It's absolutely free. Go and listen to my podcast episode on the Lifecraft podcast, episode number 15, about ditching diet culture. Learn about what diet culture is. See how it shows up in your life. See how it shows up in your friend's life, perhaps in your family. And maybe, like me, you grew up in a household filled with diet culture. And then I want to encourage you to ditch it today. If you listen to that episode today, make that decision. It's going to be amazing for your overall health and wellness. And I'm very excited to see what the world would be like if we all accept each other the way that we are. If we all understand that bio-individuality is key, there is no one way. And when we just stop focusing on our size, our weight, and our shape, and we really focus on health and knowing that it looks different for everyone. So these are just some of my free ways to improve holistic health. If you have more, please share them. I'd love to know. I read your comments. I read your reviews. I look at those things. So if you have some really positive way to improve your health and wellness that has worked for you, that's absolutely free, why not share it? I absolutely love us having these types of conversations. If you have some resources, share them as well. If you have some thoughts about one of these that you might have tried, something that you want to try, let me know. I love getting to know you better. And I hope you have a beautiful day further. Remember to share this episode if you think someone will benefit from hearing these things. And keep believing in a world where we can start the narrative that being healthy is accessible for everyone, and that we, the individual, will help bring about that change in whatever way we can. Have a beautiful day. We'll talk again soon. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode and taking the time to invest in yourself and in your future. If you loved this episode, be sure to share it with us by leaving a positive review or tagging us in a post or in your stories. Share one thing that stood out or inspired you to live your everyday life better. This helps us create more meaningful episodes for you to enjoy. If you're not already following us on social media, be sure to follow @TheLifecraft for more inspiration and tools to help you live your most powerful life. And remember, you always have the power to craft a better life for yourself, and we are here to help you do just that. We'll connect again in the next episode, and until then, keep creating a life that you're excited to wake up to. We enjoy bringing you interviews from experts and everyday people so that they can talk about their experiences and share information, tips, and what has worked for them on their journey towards a better life. However, remember that the opinions or advice of our guests and myself, the host, should not be taken as personal, actionable advice and is given as general information and education only. Please always remember to consult a qualified professional before implementing any medical, financial, legal, or other advice that you believe might work for you. Lifecraft is not responsible nor liable for your decision when implementing anything you hear on the podcast. Please listen and act responsibly. The opinions of our guests do not represent the opinions or views of Lifecraft or Melissa Lane personally and are meant as information and general education only.